guys and gals, welcome to the Oxford Holy Club, a place where we ready ourselves to give an answer for the hope that's in us. We will also try to answer your questions, random questions from the interwebs, and have some fun too. So put some seatbelts on your ears because we're in for a wild ride. Well, hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Oxford Holy Club. My name is Brad Siliker.
My name's Lucas Candy.
I'm Andrew Beckwith.
And I am Matthew Barber.
Oh, guys, hey, nice to see you all. We're going to get through a few different things before we get into the episode. Welcome to episode 96, Deconstructing Deconstruction. Probably the best name we've ever had. Deconstruction, you'll find out all about that in a little bit. I want to let you know, though, if you want to know more about this podcast, who we are and what we're all about, you can go to our website, oxfordholyclub.com. From there, you can find us on all the social medias. If you want to send us a message, if you want to browse the merch, all that stuff, just go to our website. It's right there. Another thing I want to mention very quickly is if you can help us get this podcast out to all the people by sharing it. Make sure that you like the Oxford Holy Club Facebook page so that you get notified when we do go live. But also, once we're live and it's happening, click the share button. Thank you, Krista, for sharing the stream. Just like that. Just follow Krista's lead and click that share button, and it will help get this, whatever this is, out to the masses. And don't forget, for those that are watching by video, that if you stay tuned, there is an afterglow once the episode proper ends.
Oh, you're going to do one.
Oh, buddy, I asked you at the very beginning if you checked the notes before we ever started.
I just
like jazz, it's free form.
It's free form. Yeah. Hello, Scott. Welcome. Nice to see you, my man.
Got it.
So that's it. I'm pretty sure I've mentioned everything. Don't forget, though, that the audio of this episode will come out no later than tomorrow by lunchtime. As well, it'll be available on YouTube for people to watch. And you can also like it and subscribe and share and all that type of thing. Now, I have been trying to get this going for, it feels like forever. And so I put it at the front end of the episode, gentlemen, so that there was no way I could miss it.
That.
And we're doing a... The graphics gone. We're doing a super fight. Matt's
this is
absolute
my
favorite.
most hated segment.
Matt's.
Why would we
use that passion?
The show? Why are we starting the show like this?
Use that energy, Matt. If it fuels your
I hate
creativity.
This. Can I just be the judge?
Matt, we know that you're always in a state of judgment. Would you? And judging. Are you ready? Andrew, can you edit the notes for us as we get rolling with our super fight?
Sure.
Goodness.
Brad's first.
All right. So for those of you that aren't aware, we'll tell you very quickly. We're basically going to draw from a deck of cards right here that have different superheroes and their abilities. And each of us get a superhero and 2 random abilities, and then we fight and just argue about why we should win. There will be a 30-second timer that goes down on the screen. Gentlemen, I'll let you know when it's nearing. You'll also hear an audio cue so that you know when your time is up. And people in chat can decide. No one checks the notes. Karen Barkley's very concerned that no one checks the notes.
Karen gets it.
Yeah. Well, I don't know if she gets it or if she's concerned.
All right, fire off some stats at us here.
So here we go.
Okay, whoa. I want to be able to see you draw from the deck.
Oh, how many times have we done this and now you're
Big
calling?
old super fight conspiracy going on.
All right. I'm a moose.
Okay.
Oh, that's a sweet one.
That's a good start. It's a good base platform.
Okay.
I'll get Jello.
I'm a moose that can hold my breath forever.
An
Look
undrownable moose.
now Matt's in. He's jealous. Oh no!
Have you ever seen a moose in the wild?
And I shoots glitter, guys.
Shoot glitter.
Shoots glitter.
I shoots glitter.
Sound like
All right.
Thelma
Didn't have a
the
strong
unicorn.
ending, but there you go.
Yeah. Okay. Who am I going
All right,
up
I'm
against? I'm up against Andrew. All right, Andrew. You, sir, are a giant squid.
Yes.
It's amazing.
Base.
Haven't you been giant squid before?
No,
Or I
I've
might
been
have
a
been.
cat.
It's
I've been a
amazing that
cat
the
with
two of
squid
us have
legs.
met to fight.
Yeah.
All right, you are a
That
giant
is.
squid who's really hangry.
Ooh.
Oh, good.
Really
Well,
hangry.
That's your motivation.
Moose.
And
Hey,
finally,
Nathan. Want to say hey to Nathan for tuning in, watching, and
it
also our
cousin?
buddy Mike.
finally, your hands are glued to your hips.
You're screwed.
You're so screwed.
So I don't
And you
have
got 8
any-
hands because you're a
I
squid.
don't have any superpowers.
Although
Yeah,
technically you could say you have no hands, so you
Yeah,
have
thanks
all
for
your
that.
squid
I'm gonna
appendages.
use that.
All right, so
No.
should we draw the other guys now or wait till after?
No, don't
Let's
give.
do
We
this
shouldn't. We shouldn't have time to think about it any more than you do.
Fair enough.
That's true. That's fair. I like that.
All right, I like that. So the timer.
20 seconds.
I've given you 30. Ready, Andrew? And your time begins
Wait. I'm going
now.
first. Okay. Well, oh man, so much pressure. I don't know how to fight a moose that can hold its breath underwater. I'm gonna channel my inner hangry, and I am gonna swim as fast as I can out of the water, jump
10
onto
seconds.
land, and just giant squids like belly flop the moose. And that's all I
Okay, I'm sorry that you did not hear that media source there, Andrew. Did you hear anything? You should have.
No, we didn't hear anything.
Okay, well, we'll see what happens. All right, so here comes my time
First
now.
impressions.
First impressions are everything. So what I'm going to do, I'm a moose, and I can hold my breath, and I shoots glitter. I'm going to shoots my glitter all up in your eyes, and you can't wipe the glitter away from your eyes because your hands are glued to the side of you. Not
Your
only that, have you
squiggles.
ever seen how tough a moose is? They take out vehicles, people, vehicles. And so I'm going to charge you, and I'm going to pin you, and I'm going to kick you, and I'm going to do everything, all whilst your hands are glued and your eyes are glittering. Moose.
Absolutely
So
fantastic.
now people in the chat can vote as to whether it's a glue squid or glitter moose for the victory.
That's right. Let's see. If you're feeling okay, listen. Okay.
Oh, that was me. How did it? Oh, yeah, I forgot. Okay, that one was me.
There's just a
Voting for-
just a
This
collective.
game's so much pressure. Like I don't even care if I lose. It's like just a sigh of relief to be done.
Yeah.
All right. I'm gonna
All right.
try to get back to.
So next
guys,
up it'll
wait.
be me
All right,
against
next up.
Matt.
All right.
That was me. How did it? Oh, yeah, I forgot. Okay, that one was me.
There's just
well,
just
This
a
game-
collective
This game's so much.
mute. All right. Sorry, guys.
Oh, Nathan gives me a vote.
Yeah, we got a squid vote.
We got a squid vote. Of
If
course.
you-
Vote for
Nathan?
Squidward.
Listen, if you knew Nathan, you wouldn't be bragging about that. He's the most contrary person you've ever met in your life.
All right. We got to
Vote to
move.
vote.
We got to stick and
Fair
move here. Stick and move. We got Scott
All
coming
right.
in with glitter always wins. Matt, you voted for me, and
Mhm.
Nathan's got one vote for Andrew. So Andrew, by process of the voting, you, sir, your giant squid has lost.
I don't see Scott's comment, so it doesn't count.
All right. So now let's get a fight going between Lucas and Matt. That's what we're all
All
here
right.
for.
All right.
What am I?
First.
All right, Lucas, are you first?
I'll go first. Yeah.
Here it comes. And Lucas, you are an Apache warrior.
All right. Good start.
I quit.
All right.
Yeah, don't worry, he'll have like hot dog fingers or something.
Oh, you
Too
can.
close to home.
This is weird. You can kill with a kiss.
Oh, no.
Oh, I
Also,
can't wait to see what I am.
that may have been an alpaca warrior. And you are armed with dynamite.
Oh wow. So you want to keep me far away at all costs? Is what we're saying. here.
Wow.
Yeah, but you're good at close combat and far back combat.
All right,
true.
Matt.
This sucks.
Let's see.
I hope I get a real dud.
Let's see what you get.
Hulk.
Hulk.
Okay.
Ooh,
We've seen how
okay.
dynamite doesn't work on him.
Yowza.
Oh, and you're riding and I get to draw another character for you from the deck.
Oh
If that moose came back up, that would be
no. Oh, it's a
Ideal.
mouse. It's a mouse.
You're Hulk riding Sherlock Holmes. this
that's so good.
So
This
standing on a
feels-
dead Sherlock Holmes. Okay, continue.
this feels so familiar. I challenge anybody to go back and go back to the past episodes about the Sherlock
Oh.
special.
No,
Ugh,
that's a hard pass.
that's
Was that
that's the only
Halloween?
thing worse than this game.
All right.
Back to the Halloween episode.
Okay. This is some kind of weird. You're Hulk riding on Sherlock Holmes, which is also riding on a depressed centaur.
I win.
You got a tower right there.
Yeah. I win.
Oh, that's so good.
All right, let's get this timer going, gentlemen. Your time.
Lucas, you're first or me?
I'll go first.
Let's go with
I
Lucas.
heard
Your time
first, so I
begins
should go
now.
first. All right. So I'm an Apache Warrior. They're known for their physical physique and their quick moves. And I'm sure bows and arrows and stuff too. We know that he has to come towards me because Hulk smash. Hulk don't hang back. The second he gets close to me, he's going to come in for the squish. I'm going to duck underneath, give him the old kiss, and he's
No, you should have said
down for the count.
smush.
Smush? You mean kiss?
You said squish, and then you should have said smush.
Ah, yes. Squish and smush. And done.
Well, that's good. Your time is now. All right. Matt, are you ready?
I'm ready.
Your time begins now.
Okay, I am the Hulk, which means dynamite has no effect on me whatsoever. Not only am I the Hulk, but I'm riding Sherlock Holmes. So I am brawn and brains and brawn. Not only that, but I'm also riding on a depressed centaur, and that centaur just doesn't care if he lives anymore. And so he is just completely kamikaze, straight in towards you. Hulk smash you every which way.
Getcha.
You want it in the lips? I'll give it to you in the lips. Boom.
Wow, and with time to spare. All right. If anyone's watching, we're here, and we need you to vote.
Kiss of
Brilliant
death?
and brawny, Scott Layton.
So,
Yes.
Hulk.
I just liked Matt's character so much.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That was a
hard to
good one.
beat. That was hard to beat. Oh, he's
That was a
back
good
on board with Super Fight.
Yeah.
I'm not. I hate the game.
Anybody out there want to let us know what you think? Who's winning this one?
Scott.
Is it Hulk
Scott.
or is it the Warrior? Hulk or Warrior, folks?
As soon as we get that squat T-shirt made, we need to get a Hulk riding Sherlock Holmes riding a depressed centaur T-shirt made.
Yeah.
The tall t-shirt.
Also, I do want to say we've lost 6 viewers since we started this game. So,
Yeah.
And nobody wants to vote.
All right. So,
all right, you guys got to pick. Was it me or Lucas?
well, it was you.
all right.
I concede.
And Scott's going with the
Off-voted.
smart emotional tower of Hulk.
Yeah. See,
I like it.
I
here's
guess
the problem though. I don't know
Okay,
what else to talk about. Who am I going against, Brad?
now you're going against me, the moose that can hold my breath forever, which shoots glitter, and we also draw one last card. Here we
Oh, okay. So you keep your original thing.
keep your original thing.
That's
and,
a time saver.
and here we go. I am
Get this over with.
3 stories tall.
Oh, there you go.
Me too.
Wait.
With
Wait,
the
what?
centaur.
And you, Matt? Can't. What a bipolar mess you are.
Can't stop laughing.
Yeah.
Depressed and can't stop laughing.
Hey,
That's the
Mom.
Hulk. Oh, I am the full spectrum of.
Yeah, you have full range of emotion. And your time, Mr. Hulk, begins now.
Well, I really can't do much different what I said. I'm still on the centaur. The centaur is just straight out, wanting to fight, ready to go. The Hulk is very intimidating looking, but you're thrown off because of his constant laughter, which makes you think, is he a monster? Is he nice? Is he not nice? He draws the moose in because you think he's nice, yet he still Hulk smashes you. Not to mention Sherlock Holmes is the guy who knows everything there is to know about moose. And
All right, that was your time. Nice job. And so what I'm going to do, Matt, because you can't stop laughing and I can hold my breath forever, I'm taking this glitter moose and we're going deep into the water and we're going down under. Because you can't stop laughing, all you do is inhale water. And I don't know how tough the Hulk is, but I'm pretty sure that you can't survive drowning.
you assumed I followed you. I didn't follow you.
Well, then how are you going to
can't
defeat
rebut.
me?
You can't rebut.
There's no rebuttal. And just because I can, I shoot some glitter in your eyes. Boom. Moose.
For my vote, 3-story moose is pretty intimidating, but I got to give it to the Hulk because he's still the Hulk and he's got a lot of stuff going on inside. I'm sorry. I think
There's a lot
3-story
going
moose
on.
would have won a lot of fights, but that's a tough one.
Brad didn't even utilize the 3 stories of moose.
I didn't need the 3 stories
No.
of moose. The 3 stories of moose helped me
did.
sink farther under
No,
the water.
You needed the 3 stories.
What would you have done with a 3-story moose, Matt?
Look the Hulk right in the eye.
And okay.
Little back kicks like that.
Now my centaur's kicking you in the shin.
Good grief. Let's move on. Matthew, congratulations on the win.
Thanks. Do I get to say? Does the winner get to choose that we never play the game again?
Hard to say what the winner gets.
Can we all agree never to open the show with this again?
The winner gets to do the next segment. Go on, Matt.
There we go.
I'm not ready.
Take the spoils of victory.
All right, very good. Well, let's catch up. What's going on, everybody? We had a pretty good week. week something in isolation, and yeah,
Six. Is it week
we're doing
6?
doing pretty good here. Have you guys started to find that this is we're getting to be okay with the current state of everything?
Yeah, it feels pretty normal. Like I miss going out to see friends and stuff, but I'm kind of naturally a homebody anyway, so it's been
Yeah.
pretty good so far.
Yeah, Brad, are you kind of adjusting?
No, I've developed an eye tick. That's why I'm wearing glasses.
Fantastic. Andrew, how about yourself?
I'm good.
Yeah, no, I'm fine.
I'm probably liking it too much. Like,
Yeah, well,
there's
that's
probably
me
a lot of
because-
people that would be mad at me.
And that's why. So this is the thing. I understand the extreme measures, and I do understand the mental health piece that it is having on a lot of people. But if I'm being honest, I found today is that whenever they said in here for New Brunswick anyway that we could potentially be opening things up a little bit in May, I was kind of like, oh, that soon. I was like, you know what I mean? Because I'm just kind of I'm getting used to this, and there's still
Well,
going
then
to
you
be a
have to
ton
go
of
back to real
restrictions.
life.
Hold up.
Yes and no, though. There's still going to be a ton of restrictions, but it's just going to be getting used to something else again that's a
Yeah,
little
yeah.
different.
Do
But
your children? Oh, you're still going to work though, right?
that's exactly right. I still have the social aspect of work, and I'm still
Yeah.
getting out of the house. So that is one thing that I have going for me that I realize a lot of people don't. They're kind
it's
of
pretty
cooped up.
nice.
But yeah, I'm kind of at that point for that. So, but anyway, we'll keep watching. But Lucas, tell us about your week, man.
Well, just sorry, one thing to your point is I know the second they say like it's over, I'm like, ooh, I'm gonna feel like I missed out on some opportunity. Like, oh, I should have learned a new language, not really a new language. I should have read more books or done something better than I'll feel like I had wasted my time, but although I'm doing all right.
I'd actually seen a thing on that though, Lucas, where they were saying like, don't do that. Like, don't set yourself up by saying like, oh, I should have learned a new language, or like, oh, I should have set a goal of this. They're like, you've got enough change and stress going on in your life. You don't need to add another disappointment.
I don't know. That seems pretty weak to me. Like, listen, just self-care. Just take care of yourself. That's all you need to worry about.
That's important.
You just sit in front of the TV and watch Netflix
You talk about it
for 10 hours.
Ugh.
Like that is
They
what I
didn't
hear
say
when I hear those
you-
things. And I get it. Like
if I was allowed to
don't
call you
need
the
go
name I
above and
want to
beyond.
call you,
Wait.
I'd call you, but then I'd get a glare from Brad. But the
I
whole thing is
appreciate
this: is that's not what they're saying, and you have no idea how much it grinds me. The fact that you're just like, oh, self care. You tell us about your week.
All right. Well, so
I'm
put
starting
up
to learn
the
a new
kids'
language.
trampoline.
Great restraint, Matt. Great
I'm
restraint.
so
We should
pissed
all.
off at you.
Good job, Matt.
Can't even tell. It's like a Vulcan. So we're putting up the kids' trampoline, and of course, like every year, we seem to be missing one bolt to get the whole thing up and running. So I have to go in and get a bolt. And so I head into Canadian Tire. They're like, "Do you know what you're getting?" I'm like, "Yeah, I'm getting a bolt." So I get in, get out, and then on the way out, I picked up like a couple things on the way out, and I saw like this sweet badminton set. So I picked that up because we've been talking about it.
Only essentials, right? Only
Yeah,
essentials.
why?
I can't. I'm
Only
pissed off
essentials.
at you again.
And
That you
then-
went out to the store for a bolt.
And then I go to the dollar store to pick up a few like foodstuffs. And by the end of it, my going in for a $2 bolt cost me $100 by the time all is said and done. Cause I'm like, well, I'm out and I almost never get to go out. So might as well, who knows, the next time I'll be in a dollar store and I'm picking up junk for the kids and snacks for Melissa and
for
whatever.
the kids.
Yeah, for the kid. No, it mostly was. The only thing I bought for myself was this cool little adapter that if you have a car that's too old and crappy to have Bluetooth, but you do have an aux in, you plug it in, it gives you a free Bluetooth. So
How much
$4.
Did you
how
get
much
that at the
driving you
dollar
doing these
store?
Get
days?
at the dollar
I
store.
did. Yeah, it
Oh,
works
wow.
great. Anyway,
Best.
the only issue was when I was at the dollar store, I'm like kind of going up the aisle and I look up and this lady's kind of giving me the stare. I'm like, okay, I'll keep going. And I had to go because it's always tricky when you're in the aisle trying to pass somebody, right? Because you're like, do they care? I know I don't care. Do they care? Anyway, I took a step towards her. She goes, "You're going the wrong direction." And I looked down and there's arrows on the floor, which I know there is for Superstore and stuff. I didn't realize there was because there's not at Costco. There's not at some places. And I was like, "Oh yeah, sorry." So she put me in my place and I had to.
Oh,
then
I'm calling the
avoid her
cops on you for a lot
the
of
rest
reasons.
of the day. Apparently, the RCMP has had like 500 calls of people calling on people who
Yeah.
are not doing the right thing.
They said it
which
slowed
is-
down the last couple of days, though.
Yeah, which I mean, it's fine. Like, obviously, I shouldn't have been called the cops on. I didn't realize it wasn't like I'm going whatever way I want. I just didn't realize there was a system. But it's always tricky at the grocery store when you're going the right way with the arrows, and someone just parked there, like reading the labels, seeing how much sodium's in their thing. You're like, like, do I just stand here like a dummy, or do I go around them, or like, do I just tap my cart so they know I'm here, or like that whole social thing? Usually, I just wait for a couple seconds, and then bomb around them and hold my breath. Yeah, so that's my plan. So that's what I've been
Pretty
up
up.
to. Spent $100 getting a bolt, and I might be on some kind of a watch list. Next.
Yeah, Brad, actually on the whole trampoline thing, I had a big discussion at work yesterday about how unsafe trampolines are and how children shouldn't have them, but that's for another show.
Matt, let's hold on. Okay. Should we save it or should we talk about the backyard trampoline wrestling at Matt Collier's?
That might be what's wrong with my shoulder today.
Well, that's wrong with my eye today. Anyway,
yeah.
Matt and I have
talk about another time.
Had a long history of trampoline stuff. My week's been pretty good, pretty uneventful. It feels like sometimes the days are long and the weeks just seem to fly by. But this week, Harmony, at the beginning of the week, since we met last, she wanted to do a no junk food challenge where she wouldn't have junk food for a whole week, so we weren't allowed to give her junk food. But her definition
She initiated this?
She initiated, but what her definition of, and only until you realize what her definition of junk food is, because it was pretty fast and loose. And and I said that I'd be on board. I said I was on board with her. So Harmony's, I'll take this trip with you because I should get off of this. But I said the moment you break, so do I. And so that put probably too much pressure on my 10-year-old daughter.
Your father's life in your hands.
Yeah.
What are you going to do with it?
So she made it a couple hours, and then she goes to the pantry and she pulls out a pack of gummies, and she goes, "What? These aren't treats. This is a snack." And I said, "Harmony,
there's a difference.
There's a difference. Look at the ingredients." Now I learned this week, and I could be wrong. I didn't fact check this, so I should have. I heard this week that they list ingredients based on their weight. And so
I thought it was by most to least, or
right.
whatever.
So the first thing on these gummies is sugar, and then it lists all these different things. I'm like, the reason you don't want to have chocolate, Harmony, is because of all the sugar. This has more sugar than what you're abstaining from over here. Anyway, she decided that it was a snack and that she would have it. And so the moment she broke, so did I. Guys, we didn't make it 24 hours. The other thing, but I was willing to go there with her. The other thing is this, and I showed you guys the picture, and I'm going to show it to people, and this might have zero traction. I have no idea. But I was driving, this is a terrible dovetail. I was driving with Harmony from Dairy Queen, and
to celebrate your 24 hours of...
We made it. It was a homework bribe, and so she was getting an ice cream, and on the way back, I saw this on the back of a maritime bus. And it said, and I'm showing it on chat right now, it says, Santa delivers 1 day a year. We deliver the other 364 days. And I'm sitting there going, what on earth did Santa do to maritime bus to get such shade?
Weird flex, maritime bus.
Well, it just seemed weird. Like, we were talking briefly before the show. They don't even share the same market, right? Like, I don't understand. Can someone explain this branding to me? Why this makes sense? Santa delivers 1 day a year. We deliver the other. Does Maritime Bus deliver presents, guys?
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
You can ship stuff through them.
I know I kind of referred to this before the show started, but we know how Lucas's family doesn't celebrate Christmas in the traditional way that most joyful families do.
Oh, does Maritime Bus bring the presents?
Lucas building a political platform based on that.
Do you think that the kids wait at the door for Maritime Bus to come at the candy home, and they wait for the bus driver to come out with all of these? And they
the
go,
Amazon man.
And Lucas goes, "See, kids, Santa only does this 1 day, but we get this bus driver 364.
Count your lucky stars.
Count your lucky stars. I picked the more efficient one." Anyway, I just thought it was weird. I thought it was odd branding, and I would love to get in. I'd love to be in the room when someone said, "Hey guys, let's throw Santa under the bus."
It was the boss's idea, and nobody wanted to say no. I can see it being like a little sign you have up around Christmas or whatever. That's kind of fun. But like, it's
this is
end of April. Like, I think they can freshen it up a little bit.
Well, they're within their 364 day
Maritime Bus has probably been on there for like 5 years.
It's Santa that needs to update his marketing.
It did look pretty faded.
This has some play. I don't know why you're in such a rush to get it off the bus.
I just think it's weird, and I don't see how the two things go together. And yet, this is what they've chosen to put on the back. It's the biggest thing on the back of their bus is shade at Santa Claus. Anyway,
I like it.
Yeah, I couldn't. Harmony asked me, and I'm done. But Harmony asked me, "Why are you taking a picture of that?" And I didn't know how to tell her because I want to riff on this during a podcast. I didn't think that translated.
She didn't get it, eh?
No.
There you go. Well, Melanie, thanks for joining us. Sorry to hear you're in a little bit of distress there. We'll be sure to pray for you.
But Melanie, Melanie, know that you have been prayed for, and Melanie is part of our Sherwood family, and been prayed for tonight, and will continue to. Melanie.
There you go. All right, very good. Andrew, what's shaking?
All right. So as I may have mentioned, I bought a vehicle a couple weeks ago, and so I had an extra one lying around.
That's what we call them.
As one does.
Extra vehicle.
Got an extra car here.
So,
what do you want to do with it?
And it was pretty much like worthless. But I thought I could maybe sell it for a couple bucks, but I wasn't in any big hurry. You know, with all the stuff going on, I wasn't like going to be Kijiji-ing my car or anything. So I've just been sitting in the driveway. Anyways, I'm walking by my neighbor with Oliver and I out for a walk, and he starts coming over and he's like fishing about the car. And he's like, "You sell it?" And I'm like, "Sure." So he's like, "I'll buy it." So I
like it a lot. I don't know.
Bad move. Bad move. Bad move.
Well,
oh, did you sell it to your neighbor?
When that clunker is everything he hoped it isn't everything he hoped it would be. You live next door to him.
Well, it was not a lot of money. He did not pay many dollars for it. Anyways, I just was pretty pumped. I've never sold a car because usually I just drive them till they're like garbage and then I send them to the junkyard. So I was a little nervous about selling it and like somebody having to like go and get it registered and stuff, but I'm happy it's gone.
Good for you, man.
I got some money to buy some candy, basically.
Oh, you sold it. You sold it for that much.
You got dollar store money, eh?
Like $100 dollar store money, or
a little more, but it was not much. I said, listen, like, because I was nervous about selling it to a neighbor. I said, let's just let's both be clear, like it's this amount of money, like car, like you're paying this amount because it's a crappy car, basically. So, anyways, hopefully it works out for him.
It'll be weird to see it like every day, though.
Well, he didn't buy it for himself. He bought it for like his son or something. And I honestly think they might even like. I honestly thought if I had put a for sale sign on it, that they would want it because I always see them working on cars and stuff.
You are going to feel some awkward the first time that thing pulls into the neighbor's driveway and it's like bang, and just puttering.
Or it's on
pulled
fire.
Out of my driveway like that.
Yeah, but what if you look over it and it's on fire in their yard? You're going to feel terrible.
Listen, if it makes it a week.
Yeah.
Hey,
there you go.
We
quick load of Tammy there. Tammy, probably related to you somewhere along the line, Brad.
Well, it has Gorel in the name, so
called us a couple of PEI celebrities. I used to work with Tammy Gorel and Tammy Gorel. I worked with 2 Tammy Gorels in an office of 4 people. Pretty impressive, eh? Welcome to Prince Edward Island.
Can we give a quick shout out to Mike McPhail, who is on our behalf promoting us on Twitter.
What a guy!
Listen, so
taking a break from Warzone to
so Mark Jolliker, who we all know, Mark. He put this thing out on Twitter. He said, anybody out there finding any like Bible scholarly podcasts? And
oh no,
and Mike,
Bible scholarly.
Oh, let them astray, Mike.
Mike was punking us.
Exactly. He's not punking us. He's punking everybody else that comes to us.
So Mike puts in Oxford. He puts in at Oxford Holy Club, and then Mark responds, "Oh well, yes, that just goes without saying."
Mark knows.
Right. What that means, yeah. Speaking of cars, I do want to throw in the thing. Did I ever tell you guys about the time that I sold a car for like $800? It wasn't inspected. Buddy shows up in a taxi, and I was like, okay, I guess he doesn't have much of a bargaining position because he needs his car to get home. And he's like, yeah, man, so it's $800, right? I was like, yeah, $800, like not inspected, but she runs fine. And he's like, okay. And he has a hat full of toonies and loonies. He had about half of it in bills, and the rest of it was in like toonies and loonies. Like,
do you remember this guy's name?
I don't.
Was his name Doug? Was his name Dougie?
I don't know.
Was he from Nova Scotia?
He was skinny. He was like 20 something or less. Like he wasn't very old.
Okay, no, this isn't Dougie. Okay, so I'm gonna spin off that. I'm spinning off that story. So Tasha, who's Tasha and Tia, that's always watching. Okay, Nathan, this is the most spirituality I get all week. That's sad, Nathan. But so Tash and Tia, Tash's dad, he's a Newfoundlander, lives in Halifax. He's an absolute hoot.
Thanks,
Tash will
Natalie.
be so happy we talked about him. She called him up. He called Tasha up one time. This is a couple years ago, and said, "Tasha, I'm going to buy a van up in, I forget if it was Miramichi or Bath. Or he's like, I want you to come along with me." So they go. She said, "Sure, Dad, pick me up." So he leaves from Halifax, drives up, picks her up Moncton. They drive up north. They go up, pull up. He looks over the van. They barter for, I think, for around $2,000. $2,000. And he says, "Okay, Tasha, go to the trunk of the car." He says,
Get my suitcase.
and there was no, it was a giant, what kind of bottle was it? Full of toonies. And he paid him in $2,000 in toonies. And Tasha had to count it out because Dougie didn't want to give him one extra toonie.
1,000 toonies.
So she had to count them all out. She'll be so happy that this story came up there. But it was, what was it in? It was in a big, not a milk jug or a
Like
a creamer, like a
cooler?
cream.
It might have been a water cooler jug. Anyway, that's such a good story. So I think you probably sold a car to a guy named Dougie. That's my guess.
Oh my word!
What about you,
I'm not
Matt?
the only one who gets paid in toonies.
That's right. Awesome. Yeah, I had a good week. Again, I'm settled into this whole new normal, I guess, what are we calling it? But Aaron will probably kill me for this. But this is so
Good.
Aaron, here's Aaron's routine. Okay.
Oh, boy.
We watch TV. She falls asleep on the couch, and then at random times she wakes up. But I don't know if you guys or your kids or your wives are ever in this like half awake, half asleep state
Mm-hmm.
where you're like coming out of the dream, but you're trying to communicate something from the dream into the real world.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. So a couple of years ago, well, no, actually, before 5 years ago, we were in the old house, and she was sleeping on the couch. I was sitting on the couch. I was watching a movie. She sat up. She goes, "Where's the dog?" And Trooper, our dog, was sitting like right at her feet. I said, "He's right there. We only have one dog." And she goes, no, the other dog. And I said, no, there's one dog. It's Trooper right down there. And she's like, "I am so mad at you. You better find that other dog." Right. And it always ends up with her being mad with me. So 2 nights ago, right? I don't even know what time it is. 2:30, 3 o'clock in the morning. She wakes me up, right? Shakes me. And she goes, this is exactly what she said. "Why do you have to make toast so loud?" This is what she says there. And I said, what are you talking about? And instantly I'm like, oh yeah, this is one of those crazy things, right? And I'm just like, what are you talking about? She's like, "You know exactly what I'm talking about, and you better put the bread back in the freezer." And so to which at this point I'm laughing because I find it comical, and that just fires her up. She is half asleep angry. Like it's just this whole thing. And then of course the next morning I'm still finding it extremely funny, and she's embarrassed by it, and she's like, "We're not talking about it. I don't care. It's not as funny as you think it is." So it's become more and more of a common trend with this half awake, half asleep, angry at me over some completely abstract thing that doesn't, like toast. I'm making toast too loud in the house.
You could get a Twitter account or something going for that. Well, that'd be pretty dangerous probably for your health and safety.
That's no good.
Tammy's coming in here. Do you see in the chat, Tammy?
Yeah.
She pranked you at work, and she babysat me.
Babysat you.
Oddly enough, we were both the same age when she was pranking you and babysitting me.
I had a full-time job. You were being babysat. You were Tammy's part-time job in the evenings.
Oh my word.
Oh, good. Well, I'm glad everybody had a good week.
Yeah.
Good.
Lucas, my man, are you set to go?
I'm ready.
Well, Lucas, we're gonna toss to you for.
World's got some questions and we're gonna try and solve them. Now and here we go with Lucas and what he's got potent ponderables.
All right, so for potent ponderables today, a lot of the time it's kind of fun or wacky or whatever, and this one is a little bit more on the serious side. But I'll kind of give you the backstory for it, and then we can kind of riff on it a little bit. So I go on my daily court mandated stroll for half an hour or whatever. So I try to keep the pounds at bay or whatever.
There's gotta be a better way to say
I'm listening
that.
to my podcast all the time, and I'm listening to this one podcast, and it's these two guys. They're fairly popular like YouTubers, but they have a like a podcast, and it's interesting. It's mostly just their daily life and them as friends and stuff like that. And they did this this thing called the Lost Years, where basically they talked about how like, hey, we've been popular for like 10 years or 15 years. And everyone's like, oh, you went from like your jobs to being like professional YouTubers when YouTube first started. how did that happen? And they never really went into details. And then they said, hey, we're going to get into details. And the reason we haven't is because a lot of that was wrapped up in our faith, because we used to be evangelical Christians. And we couldn't really get into that without unpacking it like for a long time. Like, it would take a lot. It's too much to get into. So we just haven't. We're not ashamed of it or anything like that. It's too hard to get into, but we feel like now's the time. So it was like a 4 or 5 part podcast about them talking about like them kind of growing up in church and kind of discovering faith, and like their jobs was they had faith-based careers for a couple of years, and before they made this transition to what they're doing now. And basically it was like their deconstruction of their faith, like how they came to faith, and then and it was kind of interesting at the first part. And then I kind of didn't want to listen to it because I knew it was going to be kind of rough, because I knew the ending of the story. It's like watching Star Wars, you know how it ends. And I knew they were going to, kind of fall away, but I said, no, it's important. I want to listen to this, and I want to kind of follow the steps that they followed and see where the wheels came off this bus of their faith. And it was interesting because they went through and they explained kind of their process and when they started having doubts and all this stuff. And it was interesting. And like Twitter and a lot of social media stuff really blew up with people reacting to it one way or the other. But I did feel like it was interesting because even though they both basically went on the same journey, I feel like the reason they left their faith was different for both of them. And I guess and I'll get into kind of the why of that in a little bit, but I thought I'd throw it out to you guys. When you guys know people, and I'm sure we've all known people who had a faith and had kind of, a walk with the Lord, and then turned away and, kind of lost their faith. And it's interesting because these two guys, they said at the end, they said, listen, we used to be Christians. We know what you're going to say because it's going to make you feel better to say we were never really Christians in the first place. We were just kind of faking it. And we didn't have a faith, so we had nothing to lose. They said like, no, we really did have a faith. We really did believe it. We really did pray. We really did do all that stuff. And we've walked away. So they said like, don't just say, oh, they didn't really have faith. So that was their kind of caveat. That's the big thing they wanted people to kind of understand. But thinking of people in your life, without obviously getting into details of who and all that stuff, but what do you think draws people who have an active faith, not like they grew up in the church and then just never really signed on when they got older, but like had an active, vibrant faith and then walked away? What are the things that are pulling them away from the faith in your experience?
I tossed that question up just in chat too, Lucas, for people,
Great.
If they wanted to participate in the conversation that way.
Yeah.
Again, I don't think the three of us, other than like the other three of us, you guys haven't listened to this podcast, right?
No.
So we're not going to speak much in context of that part. So what I would say though is this: I find it interesting that these two, because they were even close, they were close as teenagers, close in young adults, and
best
obviously
friends
very close
since like
now.
elementary school. Yeah.
Yeah. And so my thing is this, is that there's no one reason that's ever going to paint the picture for anybody as far as why they walk away. And so for me, I think, and in my experience of seeing people, influence has a ton of impact on the direction a person goes. I would be interested to know, we'll never know, of course, if both would have walked away, had they separated paths, went different paths at different times in their life, did one make it easier for the other? Though they may be giving different reasons for justifying their walking away, but would the influence have been there? Maybe they would have both landed in the same position. I don't know. But I know, looking at folks that I've known who, were strong Christian folks, and from all appearances walk the walk. And I mean, that's the other thing. It's from all appearances. We're on the outside.
Yeah.
But a lot of times it's okay. What was the influence around that individual? And were they ones that were going to continue to strengthen them and to lead them? Or are they ones that are going to entice and pull away? And I'm not saying, it's that whole, be in the world, not of the world kind of stuff. And so I think influence is a major impact in all of that.
Yeah.
It's
I was thinking. Oh.
No. The scripture, don't be deceived. Bad character corrupts good morals.
Yep.
Like, and I'm not trying to cast any dispersions or anything like that, but who we hang out with and that matters. It really does. Like Matt, you really summed it up well. The influences that we have, they do affect us Anyway, Andrew, I have some other thoughts because I know who Lucas is talking about and have some experience listening to them. But Andrew, go ahead, my man.
So I think for a lot of people, and we've touched on this before, and I don't want to get into a whole, like we've talked about, young adults and teenagers and the faith that they have. And it's almost an easier faith in terms
especially
of
if you have like a cluster of your own friends and stuff.
there's like experiences and things like that almost fuel that. And a lot, I find that, people get to that point in their life where it becomes work. It's more than just, singing some songs with a group of people or whatever. There's work to your faith to continue to grow, to take that time. And people get busy and it gets low on the priority list and lower. And I mean, that's not everyone's story, but I think that's a big thing is, for a lot of people, they just get busy and it's not as easy to have that faith or to feel close to God. And so they just kind of bump it down until it's not there anymore.
And I wonder how many people get busy doing good things. It's not like they're getting busy doing evil.
Yeah.
And
I mean, I think too, we need to be careful. I agree. And I know what you're saying, Andrew, but I don't want it to come across for those who, and maybe at one point were believers and followers, that it's coming across like we're saying like, oh, you're just lazy.
Oh,
That's not what's being said. Yeah. But instead, and the other thing I'll caution with too, because I've seen there's a couple of comments on the whole hypocrisy thing is that's never one that's floated for me. I mean, because the truth is Christians they're hypocrites, and then other people will say like, oh yeah, but everyone's a hypocrite. The Christians always say, well, everybody's a hypocrite. Yeah, but we're called to something higher. So, let's not allow ourselves to be excused because, everybody does it. But the other part of it too is, and this is my take, that as Christians, we need to be very careful of, is that people's faith evolves. People's faith, it goes in ebb and flow and it changes. And we got to be so guarded to see. Now we're in a unique situation, Lucas, where these guys are directly saying, this is where we this is where we are. That's clear. But we've got to be so careful that when we're looking at other people, like, and this, man, you hear this all the time, and I used to get it all the time. The old people, like, oh, I'd love for you to hang out with so-and-so, oh, hey, I'd love for you to hang out with Bradley a little bit. He needs a good influence, that kind of stuff. Right?
that never happened.
Yeah. And so, but this whole idea, right, of like, okay, you know what, maybe they're not hitting whatever standard is you've got it pictured in your head. And maybe, you know what I mean? But that's, for us, don't jump to the conclusions like, oh, damnation, they're done. Like this is, they've walked away. There is this evolution in people's faith and growth. And there has to be times of questioning, and there has to be times of, I'll even say, doubt, in order for there to be growth to come through and to be actually be genuine in a person's life. And so we got to be careful not to discount or cut people out when we're doing that, because when we do that, we offend them, which then puts us in a whole gap in the relational piece, which is so critical. And so people grow. I mean, and we can bring it back to everything we've talked about for the last 3 months about this cycle that even Israel went through. It, God's chosen people. We're good. Victory, win, praise God. God, what are you doing? You're the worst. Send us back to slavery, blah, and there's this change that happens in people's lives. And we just need to be careful not to say, oh, look what they've done. This is their finish line. You know what I mean? Well, no. And so that's something I'm not saying us for, because we're much smarter than that. But the idea of Christians in general, we got to be careful not to quickly jump to judgment and saying like, oh, no. Like this is terrible. He's so far fallen away. What are we going to do? Well, you pray for him and you give him time,
Well, I think too is, especially if it's a friend or someone you're close to, like, what is, what's your relationship based on? Is it purely based on the fact that you're both believers, and since they're walking away, you're walking away from them? Right. Or is it, there has to be that you have to be a friend to them no matter what, even if they don't believe exactly what you believe. And you have to be careful not to base your friendships on oh, we're both Christians, best buddies.
Mhm.
You know, there has to be more to it than that, so that if stuff like this happens, you know, you're able to support them and love them.
Yeah. And that's one side of it. I kind of sidetracked us a little bit because what we're actually talking about is people who have made the statement, oh yeah, I was a Christian, but now I've walked away.
Hmm.
You know, that's kind of what the direction was of that podcast. And so there are people who have just flat out said, you know, it wasn't, and you can hear anything, that wasn't for me. Oh, I just didn't believe. God wasn't real for me. He didn't show up. And there's all kinds of reasons why, but it doesn't make it any more less or more real for them, the experience they've had. And we got to be okay with just saying, I don't have the answer for that. I don't know what.
Well, the reality is their perception of their experience is their reality, whether it's true or not. So people that say that they just didn't feel God, well, whether you feel God or not doesn't mean that God's not real. But for them, their perception was their reality, and so they're responding to all that they know. Matt, you made a really good point. You made two good points. Well, you've made good points, but two that jumped out to me. And one, Lucas, when you initially started the conversation about bringing this to the podcast, I really appreciated something that you said, was that the story's not over for these guys.
Yeah.
Right. Like this is a point in their journey, and it's not done. The book's not closed for them.
Maybe they'll watch this.
Maybe. And then Matt, you talked about questions, and my pastor today said, without questions, there aren't answers. And so, yeah, of course, we need to ask questions and we need to search things out. In fact, Scripture tells us to work out our own salvation with fear and trembling. That means not just taking everything at face value. That means asking hard questions, testing the Spirit, right? Like we have to. In relation to these guys, they made a very blunt statement. I used to believe and now I don't. One of them only, and you know what? I'm not even sure how comfortable I am talking about what I thought I was going to talk about, because I don't want to dare make it seem like I'm casting any kind of judgment.
Can I just jump in real quick? Because I want to do the second part of my thing, and it might play into what you're going to say. Is the reason why I thought that this question was kind of compelling is because when I looked at them, I noticed that, like I said, they kind of had two reasons, and I don't mean like a specific thing, but like a broad category. And I know personally someone who's kind of walked away from the faith and doesn't really profess it anymore in the last few years, and he definitely falls into this one category. And I'll give you their two categories, and you let me know if you think that basically most of the people who walk away from faith fall into these categories, even though the minutiae is probably different, but the broad reasons. The first one, and you talked about there being a leader and a follower and influence, the leader of the two friends, and definitely would be the leader of the two. He reasoned his way out of faith.
And that's exactly where I was going. Yeah.
And he basically, he had some doubts, and he read some, his was very much about like the science of stuff and the history of stuff. And he starts reading into this and reading into that, and he kind of shakes his faith. And then, and he kind of and it's funny because I've seen people that, and it's not that you can't have reason in faith. There's lots of like evidence and all these kind of things, but if you need to have an answer for every single thing, and if your faith is based on having all the answers, you're always going to struggle. And I think that's what this guy was. He's very analytical kind of brain, like the opposite of what mine would be.
Well, and Lucas, if I can, don't lose your train of thought. One of the reasons that this irked me a little bit was because a comment he made one time in one of their shows was that, it was a candid conversation between the two of them. He feels that he is in like the 10% of intelligent people, that he is more intelligent than the average person. And the moment I heard that, I'm like, I'm done with.
It kind of comes across when he's talking.
I
like him. He's funny, but he definitely thinks he's the smartest person in the room. Which it's not hard to find those people, especially if your room's small. And the other guy, so that one category is the one who kind of reasoned their way out of faith, like that they don't have every little answer figured out. And it's funny though, because he said people were constantly sending, because this was a multi-week thing, and people were sending him all these like links and articles. He's like, listen, I'm not going to read all those. He goes, for every answer, there's a Christian answer. Then there's like an atheist answer. And he goes, so blah, blah, blah. I was like, yeah, but you listen to enough atheist answers to get yourself out of faith. Why can't, anyway, but I get it. There's probably 1,000 links being just thrown his way. Anyway, the other guy, his was not analytical at all. And he said that. His was more emotional, and his was basically, and his seemed to boil down to, I don't like the disparity between culture and faith, and I feel more comfortable with faith than like I'd rather be with the crowd, basically,
He
facing the wrong direction.
He chose culture over faith.
Yeah, he chose culture over faith, and he talked about the fact that they moved to LA, and they talked about how at LA, like it was a whole different kettle of fish than what they were used to, and on top of that, even the churches were a whole different kettle of fish than they were used to, it kind of led them down this way. And they said, well, basically, anytime the culture doesn't agree with religion, it makes me feel icky about religion and about my faith. And I was like, yeah, well, so one of them was very like the mind led him away. One of them, the heart led him away. And I kind of wonder if that's kind of where most people would fall into broadly into those buckets, even though the details, because I know of the people I've thought of who've walked away from faith, it was usually one or the other. Like it's either, oh, it's so against the culture and I don't like that. I want to be with the culture. Essentially, they wouldn't say it that way, but that's what it is. Some of them would say that. And then the other half is like, I don't have every little answer figured out. How can this be if that is this and blah, 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 then I can't believe it, right? So those are the two kind of buckets. What do you guys think about my two buckets theory?
Yeah, I mean, there's two. There's more than two, but those are two good ones. I mean, and those would probably be really common. Again, they're both influence. What you're talking about, but again, then there are times where people have experienced genuine hurt, and they've attached too much of church to relationship with Christ. You know what I mean? And then you can even take it as far as difference of opinion or difference of belief based on what people read in the scriptures or what their influences again are, where they'll look at a church and they'll say, okay, hey, you know what? I don't believe that we should be treating this group of people this way. You know what I mean? And therefore I don't fit in this church. And maybe you don't find a church, especially in little conservative Atlantic Canada. I don't find a church that's accepting of this, or this. And then they find, well, if it's this or nothing, it's nothing. You know what I mean? Because they're choosing, again, maybe even what they believe is what their truth is. I hate saying that, but like that idea of this is what they believe to be true, or this is what they believe to be sin, not sin, whatever you want to look at there. And their option is to either stay at this place or do nothing, or go nowhere. Then maybe it's nowhere.
I like your thing about another bucket being hurt. It's funny because I didn't think of that one, even though that's probably a really big one.
That's a huge one.
And it's funny because these guys pardon?
No, sorry. It's a huge one. And it happens so often that people throw the baby out with the bathwater, to use that analogy. They get hurt by the church, which is people, and so they toss Jesus right out the door and the relationship with him. We talked about the Israelites a little bit. You look back at the story of the Israelites, when one of their leaders would die or one of the judges would die, there'd be a period where they were following. When they had the leadership in place, they were following. And when that leader would die, Israel would go back into idolatry. And just to the point of what the importance of influence and how important that is. Anyway.
It's funny though, because in their videos, in their podcast, they actually said, like, listen, they actually mentioned that. They said, listen, a lot of people have been hurt by the church. We're not one of them. he's like, we're as straight white guys, we have it pretty well made in the church. And they talked about the fact that, what is it what they were saying? And they basically said, like, listen, us being millionaires, essentially, if it wasn't for the church and everything they invested in us and the opportunities they gave us, this would never have happened. Like they were, especially the first part, they were very congenial about it. They weren't, sometimes when people get really jaded, but they weren't. Like they were very, like, they spoke really highly of a lot of the people they interacted with. And like they basically said they had nothing but good things to say about the church, kind of until they were done with them. And then they moved to the next level. And there was a bit of that in there. And the whole time I was listening, I was trying to kind of suss out some of the things that weren't being said. And anyway, I found it really interesting. It was hard at times to listen to that. But it was an interesting kind of interesting exercise for me anyway. And it's funny because our last week at church, we actually, our pastor, John Simons, talked about doubt and what a normal thing that is. And he had a bunch of awesome kick butt C.S. Lewis quotes. And one of them was, he said, he goes, you know, I have a faith. He goes, in my kind of dark moments, sometimes I doubt my faith. He goes, but when I was an atheist in my dark moment, sometimes I doubted my atheism. So he goes, everyone has doubts all the time. Sorry, Matt, I stepped on you there.
No, that was a good quote. I was just glad it wasn't a Dave Ramsey quote for a change. The
And Matt's
Gary-
bringing us out.
Gary's got a good thing going there with the whole idea of what it is: head, heart, and hurt. Other things.
Yeah.
I would even add one more to
Triple
it because I
H.
love
It
alliteration.
better start with H.
Hustle. The head, hurt, heart, and hustle. And the idea of that some churches just are not headed in the right direction and they're hustling people, whether it's because their
Right.
motives are wrong or because
right.
they're, and I mean that's the reality. Like, and I'm not here judging this specific church or that specific church, but I'm saying, like, crack a Bible.
If your pastor has a jet,
Crack a Bible. Tell me where that's in there. You know what I mean? And so in the good book of alliteration, it is head, heart, hurt, and hustle. That is why people walk away from the faith.
Let me toss this out to you. And it was Gary that put it in my mind. And he talked early on about this and mentioned it again. Thank you, Gary. It's free will. And Deuteronomy 30:19, this just came, Deuteronomy 30:19 ESV. I call heaven and earth to witness against you today that I have set before you life and death, blessing and curse. Therefore, choose life. And you can continue to reading. But we have, every one of us, them included, doesn't matter how famous you are, how much money you have, or how little you have. Every one of us, equal playing field. God has set before us today life and death, blessing and curse. Choose life. Even when you don't have the answers, when it doesn't sometimes make sense, when it doesn't feel like you want to, choose life.
I think one thing I heard a pastor say one time that actually was kind of nice, and I thought, you know, if you're doing everything right, like you can almost guarantee that people will go the right way, which is foolish to think. But I heard a pastor one time say, Judas had the world's best pastor, the world's best coach, the world's best whatever, and he walked away. He saw every miracle. He saw, he spent time with Jesus and he walked away. So like, it doesn't matter how good the experience or the relationships are. Everyone has to make up their own mind. And I guess, you can even see it in person and it not be enough.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good deal.
That's,
All
yeah.
right.
I think we just smorped.
Yeah, we smorped that. I'm
Yeah, I
good with
think
that.
so.
Smorped that. Matt, do you feel like you've got time to?
Oh, absolutely, ladies and gentlemen.
Oh,
welcome.
wait. Sorry, I'm sorry, Matt. I don't want to take up too much time, but I do want to thank Gary. And if anyone's been watching and seeing Gary in the chat, if you want to actually see Gary on screen, I'm not trying to plug a service or another podcast, but the Sherwood Nazarene Church, of which I'm a pastor, Gary's Gary's joining us this Sunday for our Sunday service, which is like in a podcast form, just like this. So if you'd like to see more of what Gary has to say, then please join us 10 a.m. Sherwood Church of the Nazarene. Guys,
Gary, so help me. If your sermon title is Head, Heart, Hurt, and Hustle, I expect whatever Sherwood Church is paying you, I want commission on that.
All right, let's toss to Matt.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another episode of
Sports and Star Stuff.
What a smooth transition. All right, here we go. So, gentlemen, welcome to another game of Sports and Star Stuff. This is the game of Balderdash, or Barberdash, as we like to call it, where you are going to get a term, and it might be about sports, it might be about stars. You three have to submit what you think your guess is to me over Messenger, please. I will read off those and the real answer, your three plus one that I've made up, and then we will vote to see who gets the correct.
I want to keep my streak alive.
All right. Yes, Lucas.
I'm just going to use my one from last week.
I should keep a tally board here of points.
That's a great idea, Matt.
You get one for guessing right and one for everybody that guesses yours. But I'd love to. Don't Google it. Don't be a stinker and go Googling it. But I sure would love to have some guesses in the chat. So, are you ready?
Yes, sir.
All right.
Ready.
Here is your word for today. Blitzer.
Wait, the reindeer?
Blitzer.
An AR at the end?
Blitzer.
BLIT.
Gary, we'll talk about that while these guys are giving their answers. Gary watched the new Jordan documentary.
Okay, hey, how do you spell it?
Blitzer. It is BLITZAR. Blitzer. Would you like it in a sentence?
No, because your
Sure,
sentence
it's not
is
gonna help
well-known.
us, but
Look
sure.
at that Blitzar. Hey, over
That
there,
was
it's
the
a
best
Blitzar. Yep.
Blitzar I've ever seen.
Yeah, of course it was.
Have you ever seen a Blitzar go that far? That rhymes. All right, Bradley, start my music.
Oh, thank you, Matt.
Yes, Gary. I've started watching the Michael Jordan documentary. The thing that blew my mind the most was the whole Scottie Pippen stuff.
Stop
I don't know if
talking.
you've gotten there yet.
Can't focus.
Sorry.
Blitzar. ADHD.
Blitzar. That is the biggest Blitzar I've ever seen. Blitzar. Blitzar.
Oh shit, I'm on screen. I forgot about that. I have submitted mine.
Blitzar. How many Blitzars have you seen in your life?
See, there's Comet, Cupid, Blitzar.
Blitzar. Blitzar.
Yep, thanks, Matt.
What's the
I
word?
can't believe that just Blitzard.
Oh, well,
There, I just
okay.
made it a verb. I just made it a verb.
That changes everything.
Yeah. All right, we've got all the answers in.
I don't see any votes though, or any
No votes
guesses.
yet. No, nobody for guesses. Here we are. All right, welcome. This is Blitzar. Do you need it in a sentence one more time?
No. Do you have
Rather
all?
not.
All right. Here we go. Blitzar. Are you ready for this? Blitzar. When a large star explodes and it becomes a black hole. Blitzar. When an asteroid passes through a quasar and shatters into fragments.
I think you mispronounced
Blitzar.
quasar.
Quasar, like queso. A series of shooting stars that is followed up with a large flash. Blitzar is a football term when the opposing team defend against a coordinated blitz play and intercept the ball, or blitzar when multiple players on the offensive line of a football team rush at the quarterback. All right, one more time, and then I want to see your votes. Blitzar, when multiple players on the offensive line of a football team rush at the quarterback. Blitzar, a series of shooting stars that is followed up with a large flash. Blitzar, when an asteroid passes through a queso and shatters into fragments.
Quasar.
Blitzar, football term
Queso.
when the opposing team defend against a coordinated blitz play and intercept the ball, or a blitzar when a large star explodes and it becomes a black hole. What are your answers?
I'm going with the offensive lineman football one.
Okay, Bradley votes for the offensive line football team.
I feel like I'm just hoping that blitz is not short for blitzar, but I'm going to go with the one where they stop a blitz, football
They
one.
stop a blitz. Okay,
Yeah.
very good. So the other football one, very good. Andrew, your answer, please.
That star queso one.
Queso sounds good
Queso
right now.
cheese.
I'm gonna go.
I was in Arizona a month ago, and ordered queso. Their queso is a lot hotter than our queso. Let me tell you that.
Andrew, what are you doing?
You Googling,
he's
Andrew?
talking about queso.
Okay, what's your guess, Andrew? Quick.
I'm going the same as Lucas.
Okay, hold on. Matt, before you do the answers, the one about the black hole, that's not mine, but it's one of yours, and what you're thinking of is actually called a supernova.
Okay, very good. Mike McPhail asks, has Brad ever watched any sport?
No.
No, not at all. You can tell just by the look of him.
No.
All right, here we go. Bradley,
Yes, sir.
you chose when multiple players on the offensive line of a football team rush at the quarterback.
Yes, I did.
That was my made-up answer.
Oh, no.
And Lucas,
Ah,
you
Blitzar.
chose a football team when opposing team defend against a coordinated blitz play and intercept the ball. That is Bradley's answer. All right. And Andrew, you chose the
Same one as me, didn't you?
queso?
Sure, I chose the queso one. Yep. No, I said Lucas. Same as Lucas.
Oh, that was Bradley's. The correct answer is actually when a large star explodes and it becomes a black
No, it's not.
hole.
That's called a supernova, Matt.
There's multiple ways these things happen, Brad. Learn a book. Okay, learn a book. All right,
Learn
play
a
me
book.
out. That has been another successful episode.
Hold on.
of
Oh, my word.
star stuff.
All right. Good job, guys. You guys all lost.
I take umbrage with that. It's called a
It's
supernova.
every
I
week.
take umbrage.
Go look it up,
Did you
Brad. I don't
Google it?
care.
A star
I
exploding.
just don't care.
But
Go
then
look it up.
You're where did you
You
get
can
that?
follow our podcast on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, YouTube at Oxford Holy Club. You can throw up the hashtag OH Club, and we would really love a 5-star rating on iTunes. And if you do, we'll read it on the air.
Hey, don't leave. We got the after show.
That's right.
Not only that, but you can send your questions to us at oxfordholyclub.com. That could be a tiebreaker question. That could just be a spiritual question, anything like that. And maybe we'll answer it or help you break your tie. You can also browse merch on the website, all kinds of merch. Buy it. It's really good.
Smooth.
Very nice, yeah. And we don't pay to advertise. So any growth that we have comes from you sharing us with others. And
Until next time. I thought you
slow
had
on the buttons, eh?
I thought you had more to say.
No, you wrote the script.
Don't forget, we have the after show coming up next. Until next
Gonna
time,
be the
keep
best part of the
spiritually
show.
fit and have fun.
And have fun.
And stay home.
And have fun.
All right, ladies and
Stay
gentlemen.
for the after show.
Now,
Afterglow.
here we go.
Afterglow.
And
Are we doing
Welcome to the Afterglow.
oh my god.
Afterglow. Welcome to the Afterglow.
No?
We don't want to get the explicit rating on YouTube.
Yeah.
welcome.
That'd get us some likes though.
Welcome
wouldn't
to
it?
the afterglow. It would not.
What?
We would
Lucas.
we'd be done.
Lucas, how much dollar store candy would I have to buy you to take your shirt off on the podcast?
I'll be right back.
And that's
Oh,
how we
Lucas
lost Andrew.
And
Andrew's
that's how we
doing it.
lost Andrew.
Andrew's
Yeah.
oh, what's he doing?
He's opening the garage.
What's he doing? Where's he going?
I don't know. He's trapped.
Oh, he's doing something.
What's he up
What's he
to?
doing?
It's got to be kid related.
No, he's going outdoors. Like that's not to his house.
No,
He's
that's
just
out,
outside.
that's outside.
Oh, he's got to
Okay.
skip the dishes. He's got to skip the dishes, guys.
Oh, that would be awesome, eh?
And I
ordered-
think the amount of money for me
I
to
see
go
it.
topless on this podcast would probably be infinite. Not even a $50 dollar store gift card. Can you imagine a less exciting gift card to get than a dollar store gift card?
Well,
$50
for
one?
most people, but I feel like you'd be tickled.
I do shop there. There's some cool
Mike
little
McPhail
tech
just
pickups
got
you can find.
Mike McPhail just got in trouble because of that intro. His wife is wondering what he's watching now. So are we doing some Pictionary?
Well, so I've got a game for you to see if you can guess something.
Okay, I hate the game, that 100 game.
That's fine. You don't have to
Yeah,
play
it
it.
didn't translate to that, but I think this one I've seen before, and I think it'll be a fun one.
Which one? You talking about 5 stars?
Yeah, the 5-star. Let's try it out.
Well, hold on. Let's see if I can get this going. Because I'm sharing so many screens and capturing video from different places, this might be a little bit more complicated than I thought.
That's right. We're in the Afterglow.
That's right. Things are a little bit more relaxed
Fast
here.
and loose.
Okay, because I want you guys need to be able to see what's going on the screen, so that's where things get a little tricky here. I can easily broadcast this out to the people. Okay, well maybe I can just do that. Okay, the 5-star slide. I'll pop up, and okay. So what we're basically going to do right now is once I get this thing set up, I'm going to read to you a few different Amazon reviews, and it's not letting me. There we go. I'm going to read to you a few Amazon reviews, and you have to guess. You have multiple choices. You have to guess what the item is. And if this has legs, then we'll keep going. If it doesn't, then we'll drop it fast. But
I'm ready for Pictionary. You just say the word.
yeah, I hear you. At the moment, this thing is just being a pain. All right. Output. There we go. 5 stars. Got it. If you're still on Facebook, gentlemen, you should be able to follow along and see the different graphics there. We're only working on a slight delay.
Are you sure?
Well, the biggest delay is me. All right. So let's get rid of this. All right. Can you see anything?
I can't.
Yep. 5 stars.
5 stars. All right, gentlemen. Wife was the wife repellent. This comes from Mike. It's titled Wife Repellent. The wife was constantly kissing me while I was playing Xbox. Now I no longer have this issue. It repels her nicely. Is the item Axe body spray, bacon scented lip balm, or pickled flavored breath mints?
Oh, let's see here.
I'm going with the breath mints.
Going with the breath mints. Okay.
Yeah. Breath mints.
Gary's going with one. Axe body spray.
Oh, there's nothing. Listen, if you've ever worked at a junior high camp,
Ugh.
you quickly get turned off of Axe body spray, especially that chocolate one that they spray. Oh,
Chocolate? Gross.
chocolate.
That sounds.
I'm going to
gross.
go with Axe body spray.
Oh, it's
And
pickle mints. Pickle mints. Pickle mints. Pickle mints. Pickle mints.
gentlemen, the answer in fact was the bacon flavored lip balm. I guess. And here's a picture of it for those that are watching. Unfortunately, the pictures that I'm trying to show aren't formatted very well for what we're doing. So we'll
I bet
do
you
one
the
more.
pictures we could be drawing right now be formatted nicely.
Here comes. Oh, put the answer up. Last one. This one's called Yum. I used this to make chocolates. The salted caramel was delicious and easy to remove from mold, so that even the tails and small paws came out perfectly. Was this 1, a bobcat chocolate mold, 2, a polar bear cookie cutter, or 3, a dachshund ice cube tray?
Let's see.
Ice cube tray.
Andrew's coming in with the dachshund ice cube tray.
Dachshund.
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 Yeah, I'm going Wiener Dog ice cubes.
Wiener dog? No, I'm gonna go with polar bear.
And the answer, my friends, is dachshund ice cube tray.
I just didn't want to be the same.
Yeah. And here's a
Cookie
picture
tray.
for those that are watching. All right.
I'm looking forward to that picture.
Let's get rid of this and move into something that works better on our screen.
Like what?
Oh, guys, let's do some Pictionary.
All right, I got one if we're ready.
Yeah, go ahead,
Yeah,
Matt.
fire
All right,
away.
here we go. All right, you ready for this, guys?
You gonna share the screen, or are we just
I'm doing
guessing?
it right now, Brad. Trust me. Don't
What's the category?
movie.
Movie.
Okay, we ready? Okay, now this is going to be quite intricate.
Oh, great. That's what a mouse is good for.
I'm using a trackpad, even better.
Even
Quite
better.
intricate.
All right, draw. There
Okay,
we go.
what's the
Buckle
category?
I just said movie.
Movie.
Oh, The Matrix.
Home Alone.
Gary Calper's hungry for bacon.
Who isn't?
All right. Human.
That one with Phil or Colin something in the phone booth.
All right. I'm a good guy. I could get inside Matt's brain. I forgot about this.
Oh,
Yeah, you're good at this.
oh, is this okay? Is this
Jeepers Creepers.
No, this is something with werewolves and
Wolverine.
oh, what happened to that poor arm?
Freddy Krueger.
What happened to that poor arm?
Let's see here. Let's see.
Okay.
Evil Dead.
Hmm.
No.
I hope
We
this
all
is.
pretty impressed right now with my drawing.
I hope this is not part of it. This is just background dressing.
Yeah, that's right. It's like Junior Mint, and he's doing all this to set it up.
Junior Mint. Oh,
Okay, he's a French gentleman,
Popeye.
possibly a Marine.
Saw. Mike McPhail coming in with Saw. Awesome. What is up with this poor guy's appendages?
Scott voted The Matrix. He thought you were going Matrix 2 weeks in a row or whatever.
Okay. What we've established is Matt can't draw a person, and
I'm just
Oh,
trying to
I sure-
decide. I'm just trying to
Happy
okay.
Gilmore.
Hey!
Happy Gilmore.
Way to
The
go.
guy that
Hitler.
got his hand bit off, or is that?
Yeah, by the alligator.
Yeah. As soon as I was finished with this, I was drawing an alligator.
wow, nice job, Andrew.
Well done.
All right, Andrew, give us something.
Alligator.
All right. I got something.
That's my alligator. All right. There we go.
Oh, welcome back, gentlemen.
Good job, Andrew.
So this is how should I categorize this?
Oh boy.
Movie.
I'll say a kitchen item.
Lucas, it's your turn.
For what?
Choo choo.
Grenade mixer.
Strainer.
Are you guys seeing something that I'm not?
No, but I mean, it's a kitchen item.
Oh, kitchen item.
I'm
Amanda,
gonna try not to just throw kitchen items until I actually see what.
Amanda,
It's a juicer.
Amanda Lynn. Oh, never mind. Not anymore. Huh.
Cheese shredder.
Okay.
A castle.
Do-
Kitchen castle.
Do you make jigsaw puzzles in your kitchen?
This is supposed to be just a straight line.
What?
Hopefully not the whole thing.
That right there.
Okay, should we be guessing by now?
I got the jitters.
Uh,
A potato
that
masher?
thing that you used to scoop spaghetti.
Oh,
Nope.
it's got eyes.
More tangs.
What are we looking at?
Let's see if you got any guesses. No.
Can opener?
Facebook is silent on this.
The last person was Natalie Shaw, but I still think it might apply. Edward Scissorhands.
That's it.
That looks like a turtle.
Mousetrap. The craziest game you'll ever see.
Come on, guys, you can do this.
Mouse?
Bacon? Is it bacon?
Ice cube
that a
tray,
thermometer?
Natalie says?
It's
Kind
got
of
something
ice
with
cube tray.
animals on it.
a popsicle maker thing for freezing popsicles.
My goodness.
Unbelievable, guys. I can't believe you can't get this.
Well, if you draw one more dog, maybe we'll get it.
How are you not getting it?
So it's
A hot dog holder, hot dog maker, hot dog griller, hot
Scott
dog
Layton says brass knuckles.
a dog brush?
Oh, it's all guys.
No,
kitchen item,
it's a kitchen item, Andrew, you said?
Kitchen item.
an ant trap.
Are you please don't draw another dog.
Is it? Does it have anything to do with
dog.
hot
I
dogs?
kind of.
Does it have to do with
okay.
hot dogs?
3-Dog night.
No, I already gave you a good hint. I said, what kind of ice cube tray?
Hot dog ice cube tray.
No.
I
What
didn't know
kind
there
of
was more
ice
than
cube
one
tray?
kind of ice cube
A
tray.
dash hound ice cube tray.
Oh, a
dash
hand.
hand ice
Oh my
cube tray.
goodness.
Come on.
That's what's the opposite of a deep cut? That's a shallow cut.
Wow.
Unbelievable.
Yeah, unbelievable is right. You're a terrible drawer.
Mike guessed moles.
Oh, Andrew, that's terrible.
No, don't put this on
All right.
me.
You should
That
have
was
at
an
least drawn a
easy one.
wiener dog.
You guys should have got that right off the bat.
Yeah.
Oh,
All right.
you.
All
Who's
right.
up?
Brad
I got this.
Brad beat me to the punch.
Okay.
Category.
Technology.
Oh.
Technology. Okay.
iPhone, iPad, iPod.
Whiteboard. Okay. AirPod. No.
PlayStation or Xbox controller.
Ding ding. Matt's
Yeah.
got it.
Very good. Okay.
So silent.
Well, the random guessing on the kitchen item didn't get us anywhere, so we thought we'd be a little more deliberate in this. All right, Lucas, wow
All
us, my
right.
friend.
All right, here we go.
And Lucas gives us a Jackson Pollock.
Yeah. All right. So this category is going to be event in the Bible.
Oh boy,
Okay.
Tower of Babylon.
Was it Elijah or Elijah that sicked the bears on the teenage boys?
Oh, come on. Okay, it's not that anymore.
Are you serious?
Second Kings 2:22. Go on up, you bald
Yeah.
head.
Are you
Yeah,
serious?
that's right. You did get it.
Okay.
Okay. Now it's a different one though.
Ned, what are you doing? I got that.
Walls of
I'm
Jericho.
drawing again. Hey.
Second.
Jonah and the
he
whale.
had-
Jonah and the whale.
Stabbing the fat king.
Oh, the
Jesus riding a donkey, the talking donkey,
the Balaam's donkey.
Yeah. That's right.
the talking donkey. Actually, looks like Wonky Donkey with his bung lag.
That
It's
looks like
Eeyore.
Eeyore.
It's Eeyore. That's it. Can you imagine if that's how he talked? Oh, hello.
You know, in some circles that Elijah one would have been unguessable, but you guys are pros.
Yeah,
Well done.
All right, Matt, you got that. You guys want to do one more round?
sure. Okay, give me 1 second. I got to think of.
Mike guessed Jesus. I don't know which character that was for, but yes.
You're never wrong.
That's right.
Okay, are you ready?
Ready.
Yeah.
I got to think of my next category.
All right, here we go.
There you go, more.
Okay, here we go. You ready?
Yeah.
Yep.
What was the category, Matt? Sorry.
Movie.
Ugh. Cars.
U571.
Cars 2. Fast and Furious. Cars 3.
Oh,
Driving Miss Daisy.
Drive.
Fast and Furious car, for the record.
Brad was close.
Driver.
No.
Death Race.
Which was I close with?
Fast and the Furious. Gone in 60 Seconds.
No, you said, Lucas, you were close again.
Gone, baby. Gone, baby, gone.
Furious 5.
Tokyo,
Furious
Tokyo Drift.
Furious 7.
Baby Driver.
Fast 5.
Vin Diesel's Muscle Show.
Are you making that?
Fast and Furious Tokyo Drift.
Is that a guy holding a hat?
It's Fast and Furious, but it's the one where The Rock
Hobbs and
joins
Shaw.
them. That's The Rock.
I
Isn't
said
it just
Fast and
Fast and
Furious. I
Furious?
said
It's
Fast
like number
and Furious.
7. Yeah, you got it.
Are you going to write, I live my life a quarter mile at a time? Because that'd be great.
No, I was gonna write The Rock says.
The Rock says.
Do you smell? Okay, here I go. Share screen, whiteboard. Clear. The category is Oxford Holy Club.
Oh boy. Squat.
It's Matt not wanting to play that game.
Oh, I already got it.
It's
You gotta
a
be-
centaur.
Under a Hulk. Under a.
You've got to be 100% on this one.
It's Hulk.
Hulk riding Sherlock Holmes,
Sherlock
riding
Holmes.
centaur.
Yes.
depressed
A
There you
depressed
go.
centaur.
Yeah, that's right. You got it.
That's right. You really brought it alive, though.
Boop, boop.
Your centaur skills are.
Oh, sorry. He doesn't. Boop. There. Oh, no, he's depressed. Sorry.
Yeah, he needs a tail too,
Critical.
and arms. He needs arms because he's
Listen.
still just a horse.
All right. Who got that one?
Gulag.
I think
The gulag. It's
I may have
gulag.
got it.
I'm the king of the gulag.
All right.
Who's doing that? Oh, Andrew.
The category is
You
movie.
should clear this.
No.
Oh, please.
Oh my goodness.
Hold on. Can I clear this?
You can
No.
clear all drawings.
Okay. Cube.
The cube.
Is it
Cube.
movie?
The Borg. Star Trek First Contact.
Ice Cube. Dash Hound Ice Cube tray. The movie. Oh, Picard.
Hmm.
The series.
What's in the box?
Oh, 7?
That would be unlikely.
What?
Is it that movie where if you press
Oh,
the
that-
button, someone in the world
oh,
dies,
oh,
but
oh.
you get money?
Oh, that's that looks like a detonator. Oh, he's building the ice cube tray again in there. Oh, E.T.
E.T.
Johnny Five. Wally.
Yeah.
Oh.
Okay.
Wow.
I went for the more obscure 90s movie Johnny Five before I went for Wally.
Wally.
Man, I thought we had it.
All right.
Happy Furious.
Oh, I should stop sharing.
All right.
Lucas, bring us
Let's see
home.
here. Bring you home. All right. Let me see if we can get this one. Okay.
Got my drawn fingies warmed.
This one's going to be a tough putt, I think, for all of us. But you know what? I have to come back strong after you guys poach my awesome Bible one. All right.
What's the category?
The category is film.
Wait.
Film.
Yeah.
Parasite.
Have you watched that?
No.
Okay.
Not me neither.
Oh, not a happy
Scream.
expression.
Scream 2.
Oh. Oh. Some kind of pirate movie? Pirates of the Caribbean?
No, it's a girl.
I know, but look at her leg. If that's not a wooden leg, nothing
no,
is.
it's legs. She's got 3.
Oh.
Mary.
Film. Oh,
boy.
Oklahoma, the musical, the film.
What's the one with all the kids? Cheaper by the dozen.
Can you imagine? I'm not done yet. All right.
Only 10 more to go.
Okay.
So there's 3 of
They're
them.
running from
There's an.
something.
Is that an elephant? Dumbo.
Operation Dumbo Drop.
The Greatest Showman.
Oh, it's a
It's a
rhino.
No, it's a
Rhino.
rhino.
Oh,
Ace Ventura.
Jumanji.
Yeah, Jumanji.
Yeah, baby.
Andrew, I was going for the Ace Ventura one as well.
Do you remember I was working as a youth pastor at the O'Leary Church, and we were doing a movie night on a Friday night. So I was down at Walmart in Summerside that day. I bought the movie Jumanji in the $5 bin and brought it back and showed it to the youth group, and I got in a pile of crap because
really?
I showed the movie
Magic?
Jumanji in the church because it's all about like essentially a Ouija board. People were saying, me.
Well,
I
there.
actually watched the reboot, which is I think a couple years old at this point.
It's
and
funny.
it's really good. It's a fun flick.
Would you
Have
let
you
your
watched the second one?
Would you let your
Second
children?
reboot?
Would you let your
I'm
children
planning
watch
to,
it?
yeah.
No.
Oh,
What's that story,
it's
Brad?
so good.
Would you let your children watch it, Lucas?
I wouldn't, just because the second one, the reboot's got a little bit of like people trying to be sexy and stuff.
Innuendo.
You know, I thought the original one would have been fine for my kids. Melissa's vetoed it due to the magical component.
We
so I got
we
vetoed
watched
there.
it. Well, I mean that's
She
close.
would have growled me at church.
We've watched the original, but we haven't dipped into the other ones for the reasons you just mentioned. All right, gentlemen. Well,
Eh,
that
Who's Jumanji?
that was it.
Anybody?
So let's remind everybody to make sure you like the podcast, click that share button. It's not too late. Thanks for sticking around for the after show, ladies and gentlemen. And until next time, keep spiritually fit and have fun
Have fun.
and stay at home.